When most people hear the term thinking big, they roll their eyes. They think it's just another piece of fluffy motivation, the kind that feels good momentarily, but doesn't change anything. Here's the secret. Thinking big isn't just a feel-good mantra. It's a strategic lever that can dramatically amplify your return on investment. It's the difference between optimizing for a few percentage points and optimizing for exponential growth. It's the difference between playing it safe and going for broke. So in this episode, we're diving deep into the surprising ways thinking big can supercharge your ROI and transform your life. And remember, when you invest in knowledge, you get an ROI that compounds forever. So hit that like button, subscribe, and let's dive right in. When you think small, you optimize for safety. When you think big, you optimize for scale, leverage, and asymmetric upside. Let's unpack that. Firstly, thinking small makes you focus on incremental improvements. You might think a couple extra percentage points here or a few $100 there will add up eventually. But that's what small thinkers do. They optimize for small gains. This approach works if your goal is to just tread water. But if your aim is to make real wealth, you need to swim upstream. That's where thinking big helps. Big thinkers aren't satisfied with small gains. They seek out opportunities that offer exponential growth. A big thinker won't buy one rental property. They'll build a whole portfolio or even launch a real estate investment trust. Why? Because they understand the power of scale. One property has a finite amount of upside. A portfolio does not. A single product or service might bring in a steady but limited income stream. But a business built around that offering can expand into new markets, increase production, or even franchise its model. The big picture is this. Thinking big naturally leads to leveraging time, talent, and tools. And when you do this, you amplify your ROI. How? Well, when you start small, you tend to do everything yourself. You fix the leaky faucet instead of calling a plumber, you do your own taxes, you cook every meal. Sure, you save a bit of money up front, but you're also trading your valuable time for small, short-term gains. But when you start thinking bigger, you realize that your time is best spent on activities that offer the most leverage. Thinking big forces you to delegate, automate, and systematize. You stop trading time for money and start building systems that work while you sleep. This shift alone can massively boost your ROI, not just financially, but also in terms of time freedom, creative leverage, and long-term impact. Next, thinking big helps you attract better partners and capital. Here's the thing. Bold ideas magnetize bold collaborators and investors. People want to be part of something bigger than themselves, something ambitious. 8. Someone with a big vision naturally attracts those who want to be part of the journey. Now, why does this increase your ROI? Well, when you think big, your network becomes a multiplier, not just a support system. You might have heard the phrase, "A rising boat floats all boats." That's exactly what happens when you think big. Your ambition pulls up other people and their resources, amplifying your overall return. Let me give you an example. Imagine two entrepreneurs both aiming to start e-commerce businesses. One thinks small, targeting a niche market with a limited product range. The other thinks big, targeting a broader audience with a wider selection and a stronger brand. Who's going to attract more attention from potential investors or partners? It's more likely to be featured in industry publications or at industry events. The answer is clear. The person thinking big has a much higher ROI on their networking efforts. They're seen as more ambitious, more innovative, and therefore more investable, both in terms of capital and expertise. This amplified ROI extends beyond funding. Think about the quality of partnerships you forge. When you think big, you're more likely to collaborate with those who have the same drive, the same vision, and access to the same level of resources. These partnerships can open doors you never thought possible, whether it's access to exclusive markets, distribution channels, or talent pools. It's a win-win situation. You bring the vision and the drive. They bring the resources and the know-how. Together, you generate an ROI that's greater than the sum of your individual parts. Now, thinking big also helps you make decisions based on vision, not fear. This is huge. See, small thinking often leads to risk aversion. You stick to what's familiar, what's comfortable, even if you know there's a better opportunity out there. because the fear of leaving the known for the unknown is paralyzing. But here's the thing. Fear is the enemy of ROI. It keeps you from taking the bold steps needed to multiply your investments, to really maximize your returns. Fear holds you back from investing in that new business idea, from speaking up for a raise at work, from asking for a promotion. It keeps you from pursuing the opportunities that could genuinely supercharge your ROI. This is where thinking big is essential. Big thinkers don't let fear dictate their decisions. They analyze the risks, weigh the potential rewards, and take calculated chances. They ask, what if this works? Not what if I fail? When you shift your mindset from fear to possibility, you unlock a world of opportunities that can dramatically increase your ROI. Remember, the biggest risks often come from not taking risks at all. And finally, thinking big helps you build assets, not just income. This is a mind hack that can seriously level up your financial game. When you think small, you tend to focus on immediate cash flow. A few extra dollars here, a slightly higher salary there, that's your main concern. But here's the catch. That kind of thinking limits your ROI. Why? Because you're only looking at short-term gains rather than long-term value creation. Now, when you flip that script and start thinking big, your perspective shifts. You see opportunities to build assets, not just earn income. What do I mean by assets? Well, I'm talking about things like intellectual property, brand equity, portfolios, and platforms. These assets compound over time, generating returns that far exceed your initial investments. Let me illustrate this with a simple example. Imagine two individuals who both decide to start their own businesses. One focuses on providing a service directly to clients, essentially selling their time for money. The other invests their resources into developing a software product that automates a common task. Who's generating a more valuable asset here? Clearly the second person. Their software product has the potential to serve many more customers without the need for direct involvement, thereby creating a more valuable asset. Here's the kicker. This asset can continue to generate income even while the creator pursues other endeavors. That's the power of thinking big. You're not just looking at immediate cash flow. You're investing in your future, building assets that compound, that leverage your efforts and ultimately amplify your ROI. It's a long-term vision that pays off big time. In a nutshell, thinking big is the secret sauce to turboing your ROI. It allows you to pursue scalable opportunities, leverage time, talent, and tools, attract top-tier partners and capital, make decisions based on vision, not fear, and build assets that compound over time. It's the difference between optimizing for small gains and aiming for exponential growth. But remember, thinking big isn't just a mantra. It's a strategy, a way of approaching challenges and opportunities. It's a mindset that can propel you from modest returns to extraordinary gains. So ask yourself, are you ready to think bigger, bolder, and smarter about your investments? Are you ready to unlock the potential for explosive returns in your financial journey? Because when you invest in your ability to think big, the ROI is immeasurable. If you found these insights valuable, please show your support. Your engagement means the world to us. It's also if you're eager to map out your own high-leverage investment strategy, or if you're simply curious about my upcoming moves, I would love to connect with you. Feel free to send me a message. I always appreciate a good conversation. And remember, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. Till next time, keep thinking big and investing wisely.